Have you ever checked your bank account, the day before payday and felt that familiar heavy knot right in the pit of your stomach? You're sitting there wondering where it all went despite working so incredibly hard all month long. Well, welcome everyone to this explainer. I am absolutely thrilled you're here today because we are cracking open the growth vault to break down a topic that affects literally every single one of us. We're talking about our money mindsets. My goal today is to give you a highly practical and honestly, incredibly empowering look at why so many people feel stuck financially. And more importantly, how to break completely free from that cycle. We are going to strip away all the confusing financial jargon. We're going to entirely ignore the flashy get-rich-quick hype, and we are going to look directly at the real systems and habits that actually build lasting financial resilience. So, if you've ever felt exhausted from running on a never-ending financial treadmill, you are in exactly the right place. Let's get into it. I want you to really let this question sink in for a second. Do people stay broke simply because they don't know how money works? Look, most of us operate under this deeply ingrained assumption that if we could just get that next raise, right, or if we could just land that elusive promotion, all of our financial struggles would magically vanish into thin air. But what if the actual size of your paycheck isn't the root of the problem at all? What if the real issue is that nobody, literally nobody, ever sat us down and explained the basic mechanics of how money flows in, how it flows out, and how you're actually supposed to capture it in between? We are so hyper-focused on the earning part, the daily grind of just generating a paycheck, that we completely ignore the equally vital managing and growing parts. Earning money is only step one. Managing it builds your foundation, and growing it, that is what actually buys your future freedom. Okay, let's dive straight into this. Here is our roadmap for today's explainer. We'll kick things off by unpacking the paycheck trap. Then we'll redefine assets versus liabilities, dive deep into mastering your cash flow, and then we'll undergo the wealth mindset shift. Finally, we'll wrap the whole thing up with a highly actionable 7-day money challenge. Starting with section 1, the paycheck trap. Let's talk about how to actually break this vicious cycle. First off, I want to validate something right off the bat. If you feel totally frustrated by the relentless cycle of rent, mortgages, car payments, and utility bills, you are not alone. It is genuinely exhausting. Let's look at exactly how this treadmill operates, step by step. Step 1, you earn the money. You put in the hours, you get paid. Step 2, you pay your baseline bills just to survive. But step 3 is the silent trap right there, upgrading your lifestyle. It's also known as lifestyle creep. It's that slightly nicer car lease because, hey, you got a bonus. It's the apartment with the better amenities because you got a raise. It's eating out just a few more times a week or quietly accumulating 5 different streaming subscriptions that just auto-renew every single month. It is the insidious, sneaky way our spending stretches to consume every newly earned dollar. And before you know it, you're at step 4, holding your breath, frantically refreshing your banking app, and waiting for that next direct deposit to hit so you can do the whole exhausting dance all over again. The extra money you earned back in step 1 was instantly swallowed by those lifestyle upgrades in step 3. So here is a bold and honestly slightly uncomfortable truth. More income does not automatically create wealth. There's this economic concept known as Parkinson's law, which essentially states that a person's expenses will naturally rise to meet their income. Unless you are actively, intentionally fighting it, making more money just means you are going to find more expensive ways to spend it. If your underlying financial structure and your daily spending habits remain exactly the same, a bigger salary simply equals bigger bills. You don't build wealth, you just build a much more expensive lifestyle to maintain. You basically become a higher paid participant in the exact same rat race, just with even more anxiety to keep the whole expensive show running smoothly. Moving on to section 2, assets versus liabilities. It is time we redefine how we value things. This brings us to an absolutely fundamental shift in how we need to categorize our financial lives. Understanding the core difference between these two concepts is literally what separates a paycheck-dependent mindset from a true wealth-building mindset. And it all comes down to the direction of your cash flow. No complicated accounting degrees required here. An asset is simply a system, a tool, or an investment that has the potential to put money into your pocket over time. Think of it like feeding a golden piggy bank. A liability, on the other hand, is something that actively takes money out of your pocket over time. It is a persistent leak. It's a little monster constantly eating away at your coins. Forget the textbook definitions for a second. Just ask yourself every single time you make a major purchase, is this thing going to feed my bank account or is it going to eat from it? Let's really ground this in everyday reality because it's easy to get lost in the theory. On the asset side, we aren't just talking about buying massive commercial skyscrapers. We're talking about highly accessible things. High-value skills that dramatically increase your earning power, those are incredible assets. small business systems, or even just steadily contributing to low-cost index funds, those are classic assets. Now, on the liability side, consider the typical car payment. Society bombards us every single day with the message that a shiny new car is the ultimate symbol of success. But financially speaking, it is a rapidly depreciating object that demands a hefty monthly payment, expensive insurance, and ongoing maintenance. It is actively, predictably taking money out of your pocket. The exact same goes for high-interest credit cards and those sneaky, unused subscriptions we talked about. Society pushes us constantly toward liabilities disguised as status symbols, while the wealthy, they focus obsessively on acquiring assets.
Section 3. Mastering your cash flow. This is the real scoreboard of your financial life.
True wealth isn't about having some huge net worth on paper while you're still secretly stressing about paying the grocery bill at the checkout line. True wealth is entirely about cash flow. It's about having resilience, having choices, and having the sheer freedom to dictate exactly how you spend your time. So the crucial point here is comparing two extremely common scenarios. Let's look at person A. They are a massive high earner, maybe a specialist doctor or a corporate lawyer making well over 6 figures. But they have the massive mortgage, they've got the luxury car leases, zero actual liquid savings, and incredibly high stress. They look rich to the neighbors, sure, but they are terrified because they are literally one missed paycheck away from complete disaster. Now contrast that with person B. Person B earns a modest everyday income, but they deliberately keep their expenses low, they consistently grow their monthly investments, and they have rock-solid cash reserves. Person B is objectively wealthier. They sleep soundly at night, they actually retain the money they make, and they are actively using that retained cash flow to buy their future freedom. So why do so many smart, incredibly hardworking people end up exactly like person A? Well, it all comes down to financial education. Our traditional schooling system is fantastic, truly fantastic, at teaching us how to be good employees, how to follow instructions, and how to work hard for money. But it almost entirely leaves out the other side of the equation. Think about it. Nobody is born knowing how to read a basic balance sheet, how to legally navigate taxes, how to safely leverage debt to their advantage, or even just how to negotiate a lower utility bill. Financial education is the active, lifelong pursuit of learning where your money actually goes. It's about developing the skills to analyze an opportunity and build income streams that function totally independent of your hourly labor. It is a language, and frankly, you have to deliberately teach it to yourself. And a huge part of that lifelong education is understanding how to navigate risk. Because let's be real, escaping the paycheck trap absolutely requires taking risks. You can't save your way to massive wealth. But there's a massive canyon between reckless gambling and educated investing. Reckless risk is borrowing up to your eyeballs to fund some business idea you haven't even tested yet. It's throwing your life savings at whatever hype coin is trending on social media, or blindly copying strangers online without running the numbers yourself. Educated risk, though, that is calm, methodical, and calculated. It's starting a side hustle with a tiny budget just to see if people actually want what you're selling. It's testing ideas over the weekend. And most importantly, it's building a rock-solid emergency fund first. You create a sturdy safety net so that if your educated bet doesn't pan out, you simply pivot rather than ending up on the street. Section 4. The Wealth Mindset Shift. Time to totally change your perspective. To actually apply this financial education in the real world, you have to undergo a total cognitive shift in how you view every single dollar that passes through your hands. The internal dialogue of Mindset A is constantly focused on consumption and optics. It asks questions like, how can I afford the monthly payment on this? Or, what can I buy right now that clearly signals to my neighbors that I am successful? This mindset keeps you chained to consumerism, forever drifting, and forever completely dependent on your next employer's paycheck. Mindset B, however, asks vastly superior questions. What high-leverage skill can I learn today? What asset can I buy or create right now? What system can I build that generates cash flow while I'm sleeping or relaxing with my family, instead of just endlessly trading my hours for dollars? When you change the core questions you ask yourself, I promise you completely alter the trajectory of your financial life. Section 5, the 7-Day Money Challenge. It is time to stop the drifting. Okay, let's bring all of this together and build it into something highly practical. I want to invite you to participate in a total financial reset over the next week. We're talking no massive, overwhelming life overhauls, no terrifyingly complex spreadsheets, just 7 days of focused action to stop the drifting. Here is the first half. Day 1, track every single expense. Yes, this is emotionally difficult. It creates friction to actually look at what you are spending, but it is mathematically necessary. You need absolute, unvarnished awareness of your habits. Day 2, list every single debt you owe and its minimum payment. Shine a bright, glaring light on your liabilities. Day 3, Go through all those expenses from day one and ruthlessly separate them into needs, wants, and leaks. Leaks are those sneaky auto renewals or phantom charges you completely forgot about. Stop those leaks immediately. Day 4. Identify just one skill you could start learning today that has the potential to realistically increase your earning power in the marketplace. Moving on to the final days of the challenge. Day 5. Spend just 1 hour learning about a single asset class. Maybe it's low-cost index funds, maybe it's local real estate, or maybe it's building a digital business. Crucially, do not buy anything yet. Just educate yourself. Knowledge first. Day 6 is incredibly powerful. Log right into your bank and create one small automatic transfer from your checking to your savings or investment account. This is the psychological magic of paying yourself first, before your bills or your lifestyle desires even get a chance to eat that paycheck. Make the habit completely automatic so you never have to rely on willpower. And finally, day 7. Write down one personal money rule that you will strictly, fiercely follow for the 90 days to guard these new habits.
Look, if you take absolutely anything away from this explainer today, let it be this direct, simple truth. Stop drifting. You do not have to copy someone else's exact path to wealth, but you absolutely must grab the steering wheel of your own financial life. Understand your cash flow, stop accumulating heavy, stressful liabilities that just masquerade as status symbols, and commit to building your financial education one small step at a time. You are entirely capable of designing a robust system that works for you, rather than you endlessly, tirelessly working for the system.
I really truly hope this breakdown provided you with a powerful new lens through which to view your daily financial decisions. If this helped you think about money differently, make sure to hit subscribe to The Growth Vault for more finance education, practical money mindset deep dives, and all the tools you need to help you escape the trap for good. And as we wrap up here, I want to leave you with a direct, provocative question to carry into your day and directly into day 7 of your challenge. What is the one personal money rule you will write for yourself and fiercely commit to for the next 90 days? Is it going to be a strict ban on buying new clothes? Will it be automatically investing 10% of every paycheck before you even see the money? Think deeply about it, write it down, and most importantly, take action. Thank you so much for joining me for this explainer, and I will see you in the next one.